Okay, Sarah, you're so gullible sometimes, but you're cool, and I wanted to respond to this in video form right here. Did you just threaten me with the Dayton Mediation Center, right? Do not intimidate me. And what I told her was, I think you might want to read into what this actually is before you lose your beans. And I said, I'll be glad to have a discussion. Set that up. See now, this is a website that in our community, okay, this is a website that resolves issues. If there's an issue, now she puts up a video about me that says, Bryan, you are a disgusting child molester. That's an issue to me. You know, and it's an issue that can be resolved by sitting down and talking about it, right? Having a talk, a civil talk. All right, she feels intimidated by this. Now let me show you the website. Now this is the website, right? Apparently she didn't look at it. Citizens and law enforcement. Okay, this is what freaked her out, like law enforcement. This is what you do if you have a problem with somebody in a community or there seems to be a problem. You take it to the mediation center and you're able to work it out by discussing it with someone that's neutral to the situation, and they give you ways to solve an issue before any type of legal thing has to be brought into it. Because, you know, when you're publicly calling someone a child molester, that's potentially a slanderous thing and a civil type of thing. But since I like Sarah, and I don't care what she does, I like her. She was a bit childish yesterday, but I like her. She saw this and it freaked her out. You don't have to have a legal case, right? You don't have to. You can call them and they will work, you know, if the other party agrees, you all sit down and you talk about it. See, 85% reached an agreement, right? And this way you don't have to go any further with it. And it's like, you know, but since I felt like she put this video back up that caused quite a stir for my family. It wasn't just that video, but that's the one that they sent over to, that Dumpy Dump got a hold of and sent over to, because they told me. So that's what she was intimidated by. Now let me show you a little bit of something here.
Conflict really knocks us off our feet. It makes us unsure of ourselves, frustrated, angry. Our ability to listen and understand where the other person is coming from is challenged because we're trying to protect ourselves, because when we're in conflict, it's very painful and it feels like we're being under attack. My name is Sharice D. Hairston, and I am a mediation specialist at the Dayton Mediation Center.
The premise of community mediation is that we get volunteers from the community to help act as the mediators, to come to the mediation center and help people manage their conflicts differently. I'm Michelle Zaremba, and I'm the coordinator of the Mediation Center. The Dayton Mediation Center was created in 1987, and it's one of the first community mediation centers in Ohio and in the nation. This came out of a need back in the 70s of people relying on court systems and police departments, and people saying there's got to be a better way to handle conflicts instead of going through these formal systems.
There was a lot of dissatisfaction with the court system and the backlog of cases and the quality of justice that people were receiving. And so mediation became a way to help them reduce their docket and get cases through their court systems.
So if neighbors call, let's say they're having a conflict from barking dogs, loud noise, cars, you know, where people are parking, they can call the mediation center and talk to somebody about their situations. And it's really their opportunity to say what they need to say, hear what the other has to say, and then make some decisions about what they want to do. with their situation.
The conflict is very alienating and there are hard feelings, and to try to create a solution from that place will produce a solution that will not stick, it won't last. And so if you can help people shift out of that negative place to a more constructive place where they're listening better, they're understanding better, they're making sense of the conflict and what it means for them, that's how you get lasting resolution. And so that's really the essence of transformative mediation.
When my oldest son was younger, he got into an altercation with another child at school, and it was referred from the juvenile court center to the Dayton Mediation Center. We went there together, and they facilitated a conversation between both of the boys and both sets of parents. There was no judges, anything like that to tell us what we had to do. We were able to come to conclusions on our own, and I felt really good about that. My name is Jennifer Eck, and I am a volunteer mediator at the Dayton Mediation Center.
A typical mediation session runs anywhere from an hour to an hour and a half. And what you have in that mediation session is you have a mediator and or two mediators that are working together. And what will happen when people are in conflict, they may only see one option to resolve the conflict. And as they begin to talk, other options reveal themselves to them. More solutions, creative solutions. There's better understanding between each other. And they begin to see that maybe it was a miscommunication, or maybe they get a chance to apologize for something they said or did that was hurtful. All those things kind of come out, and it's a really magical process.
I think what I like the best is maybe a little selfish, and that's just the feeling that you have when you walk out of a mediation and there's laughter where once there was not. It makes you feel like you're doing something to help somebody, and that makes me feel good, and that's what I like the most about it.
So if one side calls and seeks some help and they were referred by the police department, the calls decrease by 50%. If those parties decide to actually mediate, the calls essentially go away. People, not only are they working out their situations, and it's reducing conflict in the community, reducing resources that are needed to deal with these conflicts, but they're also learning a new skill. So they're learning how to manage their conflict differently.
We are really the local experts on conflict management in the area. It really is our volunteers who make the organization what it is and make it so great. And so it's back to their community.
Okay, so this is how adults in our community, like if someone is if someone's making an accusation against me, or if I'm making an accusation against them, you could contact these people right here, from conflict to conversation. It's the adult way to handle things. And that's exactly what I meant by saying, hey, let's me, you, and my wife, and Brandon get together and talk about this, because I certainly don't want to be labeled this way. And you put this thing up, and you still got it, and your friend is still running around here saying that. TNT can be invited into this. This is the way you resolve things in our community without getting any further. And it's the right way to do things. Now, I don't know why Sara felt intimidated by this when it's a good thing. Other people just choose to argue and argue and argue and argue and argue and fight, and but this goes from conflict to conversation. Now, this is the way that people are able to resolve things. The right way to do stuff. So that's why I said what I said, and that's what I meant by it. Sara, I know you're not intimidated by doing things the right way and sitting down and talking about a situation like adults. I really know you're not intimidated by that. Again, this is the way we go from conflict to conversation here. Again, what I meant, and exactly what I meant if you go back and listen to my video. I think it would be a good idea for me and my wife and Sara and Brandon to sit down and discuss this at the time, because she put this video up. And she made it like a year ago, and it caused a situation here in our home. Not just that video, but other things that went with it. But the police told me that it was based on that video they were sent by Dippidy. And I spoke to Sara about it once, And she's like, Ryan, I'm really sorry. I didn't mean for it to go that far. And I said, oh, it's okay. I said, it's okay. It's done. It's over. It's no problem. I felt like she really gave me a heartfelt apology. And then when that video popped back up yesterday, she said she went to move it from unlisted to private. Okay, that was her explanation. She said, I don't know why she would do that. And because then her buddy's going out calling me a child molester again, but she was in there looking at that video. But anyway, she said it was an accident. Okay, I think the video should be gone. If she's really sorry that she made it and it caused an 11-year-old and a 7-year-old to be questioned in a sexual manner, and I forgave her for it. But why does it still exist? I don't know. It caused problems. I don't know. But when I said I wanted to talk to them with the Dayton Mediation Center, she felt intimidated by that. Because if somebody's going to run around calling you a child molester, right? Certainly my wife doesn't like that idea. My kids don't like it. I don't like it. I figured we could sit down and talk about it with the mediator, right? But let's say that Sara continued to do that, which she won't. She said it was a mistake. But this would solve the problem if we met face to face and talked about it, blah, blah, blah. That's what I meant. It's me doing the right thing. And she puts up this video going on and on and on. Come on, Sara, please. Now, I don't bother you. You put that video up, it caused controversy because it caused little children to get questioned. When you guys, makeup officer in there making comments too, she was in there the one that had CPS called over here based on that video. They knew what was being sent over. Makeup officer knew what was being sent over. And I also, I moved on from that. I forgave those people for that. And then this video pops up again. So what am I supposed to think? You tell me. What am I supposed to think? Is this how much that you want to support Diane? I mean, makeup officer, you got no reason to be discussing this. Actually, you and Sara were a part of that. And TNT were a part of that. Getting the ball rolling to get seeing. But Sara backed out of it. You say you did, but yeah, we know better. But anyways, that's what I was talking about. Now, come on now, quit twisting stuff.